Today, I was looking at screen recordings from my website and I saw something terrifying. The page load speed on someone else's browser looks super slow. And I was like, no, there's no way. I gotta check this out. I went to Google Page Speed Insights. 25% performance score. That is dog. Next 30 minutes, got out my screwdriver, made some adjustments, and I got it to voila 60%, which is literally 3 times faster. That's better for CRO and SEO. More eyeballs, more monies, and I'm going to show you how. My name is Isaac. I run BS Dev Shop. We are the premium Shopify support solution. If you just sigh every time you look at the website because a new thing is breaking, get in touch. If I can't help you, I promise I will know someone that can. In this video, I'm talking about two things: facades and asset optimization. A facade is exactly what the name suggests. It's something that's not real. And I use video facades to speed up the video performance. Generally speaking, the two things that will slow down the website the most is code and videos. Naturally, waiting for 1 or 2 seconds for a video to load is completely understandable. However, let's say you've got 3 videos on the page, that becomes 6 seconds. And then what's even worse is if they're below the fold, which means when someone lands on the page, it takes 6 seconds to load and they don't know why it's happening. It just looks like poor performance. So this is where we use a facade. Instead of actually loading the video, we load an image of the video and a play icon. It's just a facade, there's no actual video there. The reason is because images load so much faster and you can also do other asset optimizations to images. So the idea is you use a facade until a user interacts with the element on the screen. For example, until they click play on the device, there's no reason for us to load the video. Once we do, we load the video and the user doesn't mind waiting 1 or 2 seconds because they know what they're waiting for. The truth about site speed is it's kind of unfair. You can't make a video load faster and you can't just remove scripts from a site that you need for tracking tools or third-party applications. But the way we can bend space and time to make it look like things are loading faster is by controlling when and where they load. 50% of all speed optimizations are focused on perceived speed. It's not actually physically the data comes in faster. It's just we arrange it so that it seems better for the user. Now, Part 2, image optimizations. This is like a real speed increase. Certain files are just better than others. So a JPEG is always going to be faster than a PNG, and a WebP is always going to be faster than a JPEG. SVG renders the fastest, but tends to have a larger file size. I'm not going to explain how they work, but only use SVGs for icons or logos. So anything that needs to be different sizes on a page and maintain the same quality. Generally speaking, the rule of thumb, you want WebP. If you can't use WebP, go to JPEG. You should only be using PNGs if you have a transparent image. Then, last but not least, sizing. Every screen is a different size, so we should not be loading a 4K beautiful resolution image on an iPhone. It's just not wide enough to even render it properly. Also, the hardware in an iPhone, generally speaking, is going to be worse than your Mac. So you're sending an image too big for the phone to even render on a device that has a slower network speed. It's just inefficient. Go on Google Page Speed Insight and it will tell you if you have any images that are not optimized for size. There's a native thing in the browser called source set. You won't know what this is, but tell your dev, they will 100% know what it is. Technically, it's not a difficult thing to do, but you specify different images based on different screen sizes. So it means if I'm using a mobile phone, it will render a different image than if I'm on my desktop. Most CMSs and CDNs will do this out of the box. So just about every good Shopify theme will already have this built in, and it uses Shopify to auto scale the images. However, if you don't have that on your theme, it's such a quick win. It can be a little bit difficult catching every image and applying it, but technically it's not a complicated thing to do. So I hope this helped. This literally let me triple my site speed in 30 minutes. Do not beat yourself up if your site speed is not 100%. I'll be honest, it's really difficult to do, especially if you're using any form of third-party apps, and e-commerce in general, you tend to need a lot of tools. So anything after 60%, I would say probably isn't worth it. Also, bear in mind, the page speed insight is a machine approximating how a user interacts with the page. If you go to a low network zone, like if you're on the tube and you load the site and it seems fine, it's probably fine. If you want more videos on optimizing images, click here.